A mixture of show jumps and cross-country fences. That is the bell for Michael D'Agostino and TMP Razzle Dazzle, all the way from Western Australia. Like I said, he's a very experienced rider in this type of competition. He is now through the start flag. We have our first rider on course, clear over fence one. Michael D'Agostino, TMP Razzle Dazzle. He's taking the very luxurious route to fence two. He's not going out too hard too early. This is interesting because he's our trailblazer. He's the one that will tell us whether that optimum time is achievable. He's down to the Channel 7 fence now at fence 3. This is the first of our cross-country fences. Clear over that. And now we see him round the corner in front of the Qantas Chairman's marquee there, the VIP tent today. He's heading down to the water fence at Rymel Park. And he is he's clear through the water. Michael D'Agostino, it's a big round of applause. He heads up to the SATC keyhole fence, and we just catch him there as he makes that turn. So he's taking, Michael's not going too fast, but of course he's the first rider out, so he's going to set the scene for what others can do later on. He's going across the water, taking his second trip through there. He's clear so far. Michael D'Agostino is clear over all his fences to date. Now he makes that long gallop up back to the show dump. He's jumped clear up to that brush fence at fence 7. Now we come to see him through to fence 8. He's back into the show dumps. Along that beautiful tree line strip here in these Adelaide parklands, it's a phenomenal setting for any type of equestrian activity, particularly for exhibition eventing. Clear over fence 8, so he remains on a score of 0. And we can see now why Michael D'Agostino, they call him the best from the West. That is the name for Michael D'Agostino. He is the best from the West. He's clear through fences 10A and B, and he comes around to the Joker fence, and he has that down. Unfortunately, he's been brave. He's gone for it, and he's knocked that down. He has had the 8 penalties to add to his score. Well, here we go. We're up to our second Saturday. Michael D'Agostino finishes on a score of 8 penalties. His time well under the time with 2 minutes 12. Sorry, he is over the time by 38 seconds over the optimum time of. So we have now, starting the course, this is Lucy Yman, an RSB Blue Jay, clear over fence 1. That fence is jumping very well today. And she's already sitting out at a little bit of a faster clip than we saw Michael, our trailblazer. Clear there over fence 2, the big oxer. She's taking the long route around to the Channel 7 fence. Remember, time is important here. So we are heading down the first of the cross-country fences. It's a big, bold jumping horse. This one is RSB Blue Jay. And she's coming down again in front of the Qantas Chairman's tent there. Looking at that jump into the water. And we've had a refusal there at the water fence for Lucy Yman. So we just had the one refusal for Lucy Yeomans at fence 4 into the water, but she's back on her way now. So there's no penalties to add there, it's just the time that goes on to her score, remember that. It does take a little bit to get your head around this exhibition eventing scoring system, particularly if you are commentating. But we are now watching her through the water fence again. She's back through the lake, and she comes down over fence 7, lining up beautifully there over fence 7, and she is back in. So remember, she's still carrying 0 penalties. It's just the time, so we don't count that refusal for penalties. Unfortunately, she had 4 penalties at fence 8. She's really in a gallop now. Lucy knows that the only way she can get back into this competition, she gives the cameraman a scare there too as she comes in tight to the scaffolding. She's had the 4 penalties at fence 8. She's had another 4 at fence 10A. So she's adding 8 penalties to her score so far. She can get 4 of those back if she jumps the joker fence clear. Can she do it? RSB Blue Jay, pick your feet up. Unfortunately, that's another 8 penalties to add. So 16 jumping penalties for Lucy Yeoman, showing how difficult this exhibition eventing course is. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we can confirm now is that the first 2 riders, we have a score of 8 for Michael D'Agostino, 16 for Lucy Yeoman. So time is actually quite gettable here today. So it's going to really change the way the riders approach this course. But now you see Kevin McNab, all the way from England here to ride today. Kirby Park Invader, and unfortunately Kevin, not the start he would have hoped for, railed down at fence 1. What Kevin was after, but look at him, he's taking the tight line. Kevin hasn't got the memo that the time is easy to get. I can't imagine Kevin doing much relaxing anyway. He's a fast and furious rider, beautifully over fence 3, the Channel 7 fence. And we're now heading down to fence 4. Kevin on the borrowed horse, the Deacon Jones, Kirby Park Invader. We just lose sight of Kevin for a minute there. Clear through the water there for Kevin McNab. He's making that tight turn up to the SATC keyhole. No trouble there for Kevin McNab. He is one of Australia's elite competitors. Been over in England for the last 3 years, Kevin, with his new fiancée, Emma Dougal. See, he's just coming across the water, he's over fence 7, so Kevin's clear so far. No trouble for this rider sitting for one of the first or second times on this horse, Kirby Park Invader. He's now clear over fence 8. Lining up for fence 9, Colin Virgil, easily over that, so he's still carrying the 4 penalties from the first fence that he had down. That was a shame at the start for Kevin. He wished he would have had that in the practice arena and not at the first fence. You always kick yourself when that happens. No trouble through fences 10A and 10B. But now Kevin, he's been told, remember, by his owner today, Megan Jones, not to jump the joker. He's absolutely ignoring that advice, and he's had the rail down just as Megan predicted. So Kevin just goes to show that sometimes owners know best. So Kevin has a total of 12 jumping penalties to add. He is well inside the time. So at the moment, the leader in this class after the first 3 riders is our first one out, Michael D'Agostino, followed by Kevin McNab and then Lucy Yeoman in 3rd position. Well, here we go, our 4th rider out onto the course. This is Robert Hutchison, Allegro Rococo. He has gone on safari around that light pole in the middle of the course here, so Robert is not in it for speed. He's going to do it, he's going to be precise, and he probably knows already that time is not that hard to get here in this exhibition eventing grand final sponsored by Gow-Gates. No trouble over fence 3, so he's well into the cross-country stage of this exhibition eventing course now. He's heading down to the water jump. I have to admit, we lose sight of him here for a minute, so we just have to guess that he jumps in for a second. So it is Robert Hutchinson, Allegro Rococo. He's a local rider from South Australia. He's clear through the water. Very well done there for Robert Hutchinson. Our 4th rider out. He heads up around, makes the turn to the SATC keyhole fence. It's a lovely fence here at Adelaide. South Australian Tourism Commission's huge sponsors of this event, the Equestrian Grand Final. And he crosses again the lake for the 2nd time going back. So Robert Hutchinson Hutchinson. He's looking to get in front. We know the leader at the moment is 8 penalties. Is Michael D'Agostino. 8 penalties. He should be beatable here today. I think there'd be a few riders out here that know they're sitting on careful Will Watson. Well, we've just seen an unfortunate refusal at bed 7 for Robert Hutchinson. Allegro of the Coco not playing the game there. He says, I've already jumped enough of those fences. And why are there more of them? It comes around again. Hopefully he can gather his thoughts, gather himself up, and get ready to come again to event 7. It's a nice big rush fest. It's jumped pretty well all day in the 2-star class, but Robert showing that nothing is easy when it comes to equestrian sport. Now he comes back into the main arena here. There the show jumps are. He's looking towards fence 8. He still knows that he's got no penalties on the board. He's just had 4 though, as I say that. So that is another tick for the commentator's curse. He's clear over fence 9, so he's carrying the 4 penalties. Remember, the refusal doesn't mean anything except time at the moment. He comes around to fence 10. Has another rail there at fence 10, so he's carrying 8. So remember, he can get those back if he can jump that joker clear. Can Robert Hutchinson jump the joker and show us that it can be done? He has knocked it down. That is running the third in that joker at a slow point. So Robert adds an extra 8 penalties. Should be 16 jumping penalties, and he is Jordina Watson and Babington's Revenge. You have heard the bell go there. So Jordina is under starter's orders. Also a local rider from South Australia. And we'll track her now as she comes around and over the first fence. And again, Babington's Revenge looks like he's absolutely full of the running. She's taking a tighter line than we saw Robert Hutchinson take before. Very strong jumper so far over the first 2 fences, and he comes around taking quite a long route. Again, the rider's starting to realise that there's no pressure of the time here. She flies over the Channel 7 fence there. Hoping to get herself on television for something famous there, but she's clear over it now. Gets down to the wall, past the horses 10 gears. The fence has been in action all day. They lowered it a little bit earlier. But we are through the water there. For, a little bit less here, she comes out. Jordina Watson, Babington's Revenge. She makes the turn up now to the SATC keyhole. It's a beautiful fence. No trouble there over that as she heads back down into the water. Clear over that lull in the boat shed. No trouble there. Splashes back through the lake like a duck. Easy over that mound. And then splashes through again. Babington's Revenge doesn't want to water at all on this warm April afternoon. Easy over fence 7. And you saw Robert Hutchinson had a few issues out just earlier. And then she's flying up. So far, clear on jumping penalties for 4. And again, as soon as we say that, there's a rail falls down. So Jordina wants to jump and 4 penalties to her score. She's still a leader though. She is still in front, and she can finish on that 4. She will be sitting in first position at this early stage of this exhibition eventing class. No trouble on defence 10A. That's been a boat defence already today. So she comes around to the joker. She knows she's sitting on 4 penalties. She can play it safe and just get home with 4. And she has done that. So she will put in the leading score 40 minutes. And I believe we'll get official confirmation that Jordina Watson, Babington's Revenge, goes safely into first position. Like a shark circling, this is Stephen Bow, and he's no stranger to the Adelaide Pipeline. He's ridden here many, many times over many, many years. Stephen, South Australian local, knows these parklands like the back of his hand, looking to go easy over fence 1. He's riding on what they call a Dashwood inlay. And again, the riders starting to work out that this course is not actually about speed, it's really about precision. And the lower score in terms of rails down, jumping penalties is probably going to win it. Time penalties not really playing a factor yet for people who are jumping smoothly around this course. No trouble over the Channel 7 fence. and that's an unfortunate refusal for Stephen Bahan. When we were talking to Sam Griffiths earlier, we were really reinforcing how difficult that fence is into the water. It's quite surprising for a horse to sort of be jumping around some show jumps and then find himself staring at Royal Lake. And unfortunately, that's two refusals there as he finds that fence 5 in the water. A little bit underpowered for Stephen as he was coming into that. But he's got back up to speed and no trouble in second time. He just lost his rest easily over the duck out. They're beautifully built fences here at Adelaide. Really testament to the course building team under Mike Etherington Smith, and of course the showdown component of this exhibition eventing is designed by legendary course builder John Valance. But for Stephen Bowe, he's not thinking about who built the course right now. He's thinking about getting over these fences and back through this lake and probably out to the bar for a drink as soon as he can after this. So he is up and over the island in the lake there. No trouble as he comes up to fence 7, and we see him rolling back along. So he's had the unfortunate 2 refusals, but remember, no penalties added yet. He's been clear over the show jumping fences. No trouble over fence 7. So fence 8. That's fence 9 though. So he's carrying 4. Remember, he can take those 4 off if he gets over that joker fence clear. He could be sitting in the lead on a score of 0 if he can jump over that joker. Punches fences 10 though, just to make life a little more difficult for himself to take the lead though. What's he going to do? Does he feel like his horse has had a little rub and will jump the joker fence? He does. Oh, unfortunately, only half the horse gets over it clear, and that doesn't count for anything. That is an extra 8 penalties to add to your score. Stephen Bowe. Now we have next into the ring. This is Sinead Lollings. After up her ring from Western Australia. I'm just going to push her up to Sonia Johnson who's standing in. Looks like she's one of those nervous coaches right now. What do you know about Sinead and Pucker up her ring, Sonia?
I'm not only a nervous coach, I'm a nervous owner. The reason I don't like this one is it's pretty damn annoying for me. So just by your nickname, so they can ride. So Sinead has been around here, and I'm sitting here watching the pleasure.
That's a lovely horse. Easily over the first 2 fences. Well, just quickly, just going to throw it back to you, Sonia. Is she going to jump the joker fence at the end?
That is a question that we'll answer at the end. It depends upon how he's going. We have a plan. He's normally quite good at riding from instructions. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, fantastic. We will watch here. We can see it coming down to the water. And she's a little bit stalling there, but with encouragement, no problem there for Sinead. She's in over fences, 4 and 5, out over the duck there. No trouble at all. She's getting good support here from her coach, Sonia Johnson. Sonia also bred this horse, so comes from very good lineage there at the Proctor farm. There's a big bit of encouragement there as he heads back into the lake over the boat shed there. No trouble across the river, but this is all quite shady in this time of day, so they're off to look after these horses. They really are dealing with some quite difficult conditions. But they're going very well here. Sinead Lollings, Parker up her ring, come over from Western Australia for this event. She flies down to fence 8. No trouble there, what a beautiful jumper. Like most horses in from Sonia's team, they are all very careful show jumpers. Just been reminded that she has a paddock full of them for sale. If you're looking for Sonia, you'll hear it before you see her. Just keep an ear out. So far, clear for fence 10A and B. Is she going to jump these joker fence? No, she's not. She is clear over fence 11. That is our first 0 penalty. Well, they're now up to number 8. We've got 17 riders in this class, so there's plenty more action still to come. And as you can tell, it's been quite a difficult course, but we do have our first rider with 0 penalties to add, so they are the new leader. Of course, you can do better than 0 penalties in exhibition events. You can go to -4, and that's when things really get interesting. But this is now number 8, Emily Daly, Arundel Adon Piat from South Australia. No trouble over fences 1 and 2, so they are jumping well today, the first couple of fences. trouble over the Channel 7 fence here. They're now heading down into the water at Holland Lake. This is the FBI rails. We're going to pull no trouble into their ball forward. Gets their position back there. All we got to do is keep kicking through here. We've seen, if you've been watching today, you've seen many versions through that water fence. But it's not about style at all, it's just about getting through there. So just to note that Emily is coached by Megan Jones. She is again a local rider. Very confident with Arundel Gow-Gates. The cross-country skills is Emily, and she's certainly showing that off today. Trots over the top there. Let's put notes here, riders that are just flying down there as they come back into that second part of the lake. Because it is a little shady there. Probably not the distance that she'll agree with that over band 7, but she survives. Gets her hat back over her eyes, and she comes up now to fence 8. No trouble, sails over that. That's the sort of fence that Coach Megan Jones would be proud of. Here she is to fence 9, knocks that one down just for good measure though. So she's now carrying 4 penalties as she comes around to the last 2 fences on this exhibition eventing grand final course. Unfortunately, having the form here, we've seen a lot of fences down after the cross-country jumps. Fences 8, 9 and 10, and that is a rail there for Emily Dale and Aaron Dale. As she comes to the last and significantly knocks that Joker fence down, so she will have an extra 8 penalties to add, which means 16 jumping penalties easily inside the time. So we have another rider on 16. So just to update you on the scores before we get to the next rider, we have in the lead is Sinead Lowings, Proctor Peregrine on 0. Next we have Jordina Watson, she's carrying the 4 penalties. Then it's Michael D'Agostino, our first rider out, TMT Basil Dago, he's on 8. Then we have Kevin McNab, all the way from the UK riding here today. He is on 12 penalties, and we have 3 riders on 16 penalties. So we move on now quickly. This is the thing about exhibition eventing. We don't wait around for much at all. And this is Sheridan Wilson-Murphy. Unfortunately has the first rail down. So we saw Kevin McNab do that earlier. First fence down. It's not a great start to it for anyone. It can rattle your confidence. You've got to put it behind you and just get on with things as she comes down from this big Channel 7 fence. It's a real 2-star jump. And then she's going down to the water, also being one of the most difficult cross-country jumps that we have seen here today in this exhibition eventing. It comes downhill, it's quite a steep hill, you cross that little patch of sand there, which is spooky in itself. A little bit of encouragement, always for the rider more than the horse. No trouble over fences 4, 5 and 6. 4 A, B and C, sorry. Turns around to the SATC keyhole. Lovely through there. Pushing through the shadows here to quite big boathouse at fence 6. Splashes through the water and over the islands. Really nothing said more about the Australian International 3 event going over that island. It's really a very special opportunity to have to get to ride around this parkland. Strongly recommend that anyone does it if they get the opportunity. Get your entry in for exhibition eventing next year, 2016, better than ever. But clear for Sheridan Wilson over fence 8 and 9. So she still carries the 4 from the first fence. Comes around to fence 10A. That's been a tough one today. Oh, just put it to the back rail, and that's a shame. She's carrying 8 penalties now. Remember, 4 can come off if she can bob over that joke fence. No one's done it clear yet. She's gone. Everyone was hopeful there, but no, it is not to be. For Sheridan Wilson-Murphy has the 8 penalties for the last. That goes to 16 penalties. Well inside the time though, so we've got quite a cluster of riders now on that 16 penalties, and still 0 is out in front for Sinead Lowings, Proctor Peregrine. But here's a rider that we all are here to watch, and this is one of the most experienced riders in this exhibition, Gow-Gates exhibition eventing class, and this is Megan Jones. She rides a horse called Kirby Park Impress. She barely needs any introduction for anyone here in Adelaide and indeed in equestrian sport in Australia and around the world. She's a silver medalist from the Beijing Olympics. She's a pleasure to watch every time she rides a horse, whether it's in the dressage, cross country, or the show jumping. And again, we are lucky to be watching here in this exhibition eventing class. Lovely over the first two fences. Megan's watched now that there's been 8 riders around. She knows how this course is riding. She's ridden around the 3-day event in both the 2-star and the 4-star today, so she's very familiar with this trip down to this water jump here at the FDI Lake Rails. Won't make too many mistakes here. She's very bold and sits up well, makes it look so easy. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled by watching Megan Jones. Cross-country riding is not this easy. But she's just taking her time, and again, she's realised that this is not a speed class here today. Time surprisingly easy to get here for exhibition eventing. Normally it's a bit more difficult to get inside that optimum time, but it's nice to see it's achievable. And riders are really making sure of things. Megan Jones, one of the most professional riders you'll see here this afternoon, easy over fence 7. So she's clearing. You know, this is where we start to get a little bit. Wonder if we could be watching our first a -4 rider here. Remember, -4 is as low as you can get in the scoring system here in exhibition eventing. No trouble there over fence 8. Lines up fence 9. It's almost in the Megan Jones colour, fence 9. I think she painted it herself. Easily around the corner for Kirby Park Impress. Gives a little rattle there to fence 10A. It stays in the cup though, so she's on 0 penalties. Sinead Lowndes is sitting there willing her Megan Jones to jump the joker and knock it down. She's taking the safe option though. So now it will be an interesting one because we've got our second rider on 0 penalties. Well, ladies and gentlemen, an amazing situation has just occurred. So, equal, in a matter of equal scores, equal jumping penalties, Megan and Sinead Lowndes, Proctor Peregrine, are on equal 0 penalties, which means that it comes down to a count back on the closest to the optimum time, and that is by 0.14. Megan Jones is closer, so she has just run into first place by 0.14. So Megan takes the lead. I told you that was a professional ride. What an amazing thing. She's just slipped into the lead. There's nothing in it. Closest to the optimum time, but here we've already seen it. Simon Tank, she's out on course on Justin Manzana. Victorian rider, no trouble over fences 1 and 2 for Simon. Very experienced rider for Victoria. Trained a number of 3-star horses over the years. He's ridden at Adelaide a number of times. No trouble there over fence 3, the Channel 7 wall. And again, as you can see here, the riders is realising that they don't have to hurry. They want to make this cross-country section as easy as possible for their horses so that they can jump over the show jump clear. Remember, mixing cross-country and show jump is one of the real challenges of this style of exhibition eventing. But for Simon, in the same way that Megan just did, we saw with her, is just taking it really easy around these cross-country fences. Of course, the risk in that is if you go too slow, the horses just run out of puff and decide that fences are a little bit too big and they don't want to play the game today. Simon has one of those moments with the heart in your mouth as a rider where you go, that wasn't the greatest ride to a fence, but I'm glad to still be sitting on top. He's through the shadows, over the island there, and comes up to fence 7, the last of the cross-country fences on this Gow-Gates exhibition eventing cross-country course. And he now travels along, he's just staying very sedate there, Simon. He's almost slipped into Sunday afternoon mode. And he's just rolling along to fence 8. Clear so far though for Simon Tanch, just to Manzana. No trouble over fence 9. We're all slowing down with you, Simon, though. He's got 2 fences left. He's doing it the right way, but it's easier. There's a lovely jumping horse. He knows that it's a 0 penalties. All he has to do is get closer to the optimum time at this point than Megan Jones, who is currently in the lead. He's taking on the Joker fence, backs himself, and unfortunately had 8 penalties to his score just at the end. So Simon, he was brave, he went for the big win. Unfortunately, that's the risk of having to go at that Joker fence, as he had 8 penalties to his score just at the end. So we see here that Megan Jones retains that lead. Sinead Lowe is in second place. Third position, Jordina Watson and Babington Trevens. They're our top 3 at the moment. Then it goes down into Michael D'Agostino, who was our first rider out of the course. But here we have, also from Victoria, this is Emily Anker. And Emily rides at Glenwood Park, Cooper Street. Husband Will's had a number of horses around a 4-star today. Emily thinks about going inside of the vertical there at fence 9. Thinks better of it when the horse didn't make the turn that easily for Glenwood Park, Cooper Street. Remember, this is not causing too much trouble when it comes to time here on this exhibition eventing course. But she rattles down now past the Qantas chairman's tent there. And looking for the jump into the water. No trouble there for Emily Anker again. Very experienced rider with a number of horses around 4-star here at Adelaide in years past. No trouble as she goes through the first of the water fences for A, B and C. Turns up now to the SATC keyhole. It's jumped really well today in this exhibition eventing class. No trouble there for Emily Anker either. She's put some brakes on. That's quite a steep hill. You wouldn't believe it until you ride a horse down there, and they really have to get them underneath themselves for that jump there at the boat shed. No trouble over Ireland. Flushes her way through the lake there. A river refreshing splash in her face. Has a late wait there over fence 7. No trouble though. Emily Anker and Glenwood Park, Cooper Street still clear as she opens up a little bit towards the last of the fences. She's just got the 5 fences left to jump on this course. No trouble over fence 8. 4 fences, I should say. Is that no trouble over fence 8. She's no trouble over fence 9. Gives a little rattle, but it's still in the cup. So Emily Anker, if she can jump the Joker fence clear, she can go into a clear lead here. Has the fence 10A down though, so she's now up to 4 penalties. If she jumps the Joker kick, she can get back to 0 and then can be in contention with Megan Jones and Sinead Lowe. She's going to, but she has comprehensively knocked that Joker fence down. No mistaking that for the judges here. Unfortunately for Emily Anker, she had 12 penalties to her score over the last 2 fences. Taking no time now, we are into our last 5 riders, ladies and gentlemen. The last 5 riders in this exhibition eventing class, sponsored by Gow-Gates Insurance. And this is Madeline O'Callaghan riding the Thermoc Alamande. No trouble for fence 1. Again, she's taking the slightly longer route to fence 2, going around that light pole. It's not a feature you see in many courses, the old straight park light pole, but it's certainly a feature of Adelaide here in the Parklands. Why it's different, why we all love coming here year after year to the Australian International 3-day event. Beautifully over the Channel 7 fence. Again, that fence has been in this course for many, many years. Always an exciting one to jump. It's a well-built fence. As Madeline O'Callaghan heads into the water, then no trouble over the FBI rails. Has a little trot, but you can trot over that, no trouble at all. We've seen it done a few times today. A little bit risky over the duck fence at 4C. That's a little bit of a shake in the elbows there. Nothing like a shake in the elbows to get your horse going after her. Slightly less confident fence. Comes around to the SATC heat keyhole flyover. Beautiful over that. And then we are here to the boat shed at fence 6. Again, a little bit stalling there, but it's all about being clear. We know the time isn't that tight, so you can ease across the lake. Enjoy the surroundings. Enjoy your time out there, Madeline O'Callaghan. It doesn't happen every day that you're running in the centre of the city as beautiful as Adelaide. No trouble over fence 7. And then she makes it a long run up to 8. She's the 5th last of our riders. We still have Megan Jones in the first position. But this is clear so far. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the distance she would have liked at the takeoff spot. Not to her liking, and fence 9 comes down. Rail travels a fair way too, but should sharpen the horse up for fence 10. Easily over that, so we're just carrying those 4 penalties there for fence 9. Again, she can head back to 0 if she can jump over the joker fence clear. Sandra just told us before that everyone should be doing it. It's a tough fence there coming around into those shadows. Adds to 8 at the last with a joker fence, so again, squirrel blows out late. 12 penalties to Ads. Just inside the time, so it gives her 12 penalties for Madeline O'Callaghan and Furlong Alamande. So we are now into our last 4 riders. Megan Jones still in the lead. Sinead Lowen's very close behind her. In these last 4, can we see someone who could topple Megan? It was a beautiful round. It was a beautiful exhibition eventing. Could it be that it's Tessa Cook and Heatherton Park Alphonse, the Victorian rider? Well, Tessa, she's got some very good performances on Heatherton Park Alphonse. She was a winner of the Camperdown CIC 3-star in Victoria. Also 3rd in the CIC 3-star at Wandon, and a winner again in the 3-star class at Werribee. So comes in on very good form. It's a 3-star horse. These are a bit smaller than this horse that you're used to, these fences. So I think for Tessa Cook, Heatherton Park Alphonse, she's got good possibility of doing well here in this Gow-Gates exhibition eventing for the Equestrian Grand Final. She's just done the first 3 fences so easily. Now heads down to the FBI rails. Oh, he's a little bit tentative as he's side to side as he heads down into the water again. Adds the stride across there. We've seen it done in many, many ways today. There's certainly no problem. It's not causing too much trouble once you are into that lake fence. Rolls around to the SATC flyover. Too easily over that. Tessa Cook, Heatherton Park Alphonse. She knows what she's late in the class. She knows what it's going to take to win it. Just a clear round. Time's not an issue. Across the lake. Over fence 7, no problem at all. She's just got that last 4 showdown. But it has been the trickiest passing part of the course for all the riders today. No trouble over fence 8 there for Tessa Cook. Heatherton Park Alphonse. Fence 9's also been a tricky one. Fence 10A is our next bogey fence. She's clear so far. She can jump through fence 10A and B. It's all going to come down to what happens at the joker fence at the last. She's no trouble over 10A, no trouble over 10B. Ladies and gentlemen, will we be seeing someone jumping the joker fence and going into the minus for the first time? Tessa Cook. Heatherton Park Alphonse has not achieved that, unfortunately, throws her head back. Disappointed with herself. Big round of applause for having a go when she got so close with that clear round. But it is the 2 riders still in the lead. Megan Jones and Sinead Lowen, who chose not to jump the joker fence, who are winning here. So last 3 riders. No one has jumped the joker fence clear. 0 is still the leading score. That's Megan Jones. Third last rider. This is number 15 in the draw. This is Taran Proctor. She's riding ESB Irish Quest. No trouble at fence 1. It's getting very shady down there. Jumping fence 1 is a good one to have under your belt. Again, just realising the time is not an issue. Fence 2 has fallen down though. She's had that railer. That'll be disappointing for Taran Proctor. Yes, the Irish Quest just not looking that interested at fence 2. He's good over fence 3 and he's now getting inspired as he comes down to the FEI rails, which is the Bible Park Lake. Cruising along. Taran knows it's not about speed here today. It's not going to win it for him. Easy into the water. He's already been through this in the two-star earlier in the day on another grey horse. There's no trouble. For A, B, and C. Loping along, showing this beautiful stride of ESV Irish Quest. So back to Taran Proctor. Here's Irish Quest. Doing well over the SATC flyover. No trouble back through the lake. Easily over fence 7. And as she comes on, just a reminder for everyone that there was a board action following the last 2 riders in this exhibition eventing final. And that is back in the APCO main arena. That will be the IRC warm-up class for the World Cup jumping. That's course walk will be at 6 p.m. Start jumping at 6:30. So just as this finishes up and we do the presentation, will it be Taran Proctor who is in that presentation getting the winner's ribbon? She'd have to go and jump over the Joker to take those 4 penalties that she had at fence 2 off her score. It's possible to get back to 0. Megan Jones currently in the lead. Taran's lining up the Joker fence here at the last fence. And she does it! She has done it! Amazing! Taran Proctor, first rider yet, the 2 jump. The Joker fence, she takes 4 penalties off her score. So amazing. Proctor over that one was the easiest thing he's done all day. Unfortunately for Taran, we have some bad news, Taran, is that you will have time penalties. That stroll around the park is counted against you. It says you have 3 penalties to add to your score. So, beautiful job jumping the So, Taran Proctor has a score of 7. 7 time penalties to add to her score. That is official. 7 time penalties to go on to her score. Great job for her jumping over that joke there. Shows that it can be done. So for the last 2, Yman, BP Escapade, and Anthony Thomas, and Levitation, NZPH. There's very much this exhibition eventing class is still there to be won. I do not think that Megan Jones has this wrapped up yet. They have not put the winning runs on Kirby Park Impress, but we have Yman and BP Escapade out on the course. Katja sitting very well up to the CCI 4-star class. She had a fantastic round in that, so she's coming into this exhibition eventing class on a high. She's definitely part of consideration for Rio in 2016 after a string of good performances over the last 18 months for Yman and BP Escapade. But she heads down now, past the Qantas chairman's tent, over the the FEI rails into Bible Park Lake. A little bit short over the shed in the middle there, but no trouble out over the duck. She makes the turn now over the SATC flyover. So remember, this is the second last rider we have in the Gow-Gates exhibition eventing here today. And there is still a possibility for anyone to take this class out. Megan Jones is in the lead. Sinead Lowe is in second. could have been touch one, and that actually takes home the winner's run and the prize money courtesy of the Gow-Gates. She's no trouble over fence 7. She's got 4 to go. This has been a difficult part of the course though for all the riders so far. These 4 show jumps as you come back in from the cross-country section of this course. She's no trouble over fence 8, that off that big run from fence 7. She's had the rail down at fence 9, though unfortunately for Patcher. That puts pressure on her if she wants to win this class to actually jump that Joker fence. She's had fence 10 now down as well, so we know for sure that she cannot win the class, but she can certainly get back in the running and into 3rd place if she can jump this Joker fence clear. She's having a go at it, and unfortunately flips that, so that adds 16 jumping penalties to her score. We'll check on time, inside the time for Patcher, so 16 jumping penalties for the 2 rails down at fences 9 and 10, and then also the Joker fence. Well, Anthony Thomas has decided to go down and have a little bit of a poke around the lake on his own. He's on a stroll. I believe Anthony Thomas has just found himself a little disorientated as he comes into the ring. He's gone the wrong direction, but he's found the judges now, and he's also received the bell. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the last rider in this class. Anthony Thomas, Levitation NZPH. Anthony Thomas, a World Cup show jumping rider, recent convert to eventing though. And I tell you what, if anyone gives themselves a chance of jumping over that Joker fence, it is Anthony Thomas and Levitation NZPH. You watch him, he will be having a go at that. The challenge here is if he jumps clear, 0 penalties, he's got to take the risk that he's going to go closer to the optimum time than Megan Jones, who sits in 1st position as we are watching our last rider here in this Gow-Gates exhibition eventing. Of course, Anthony Thomas has to jump clear. He's no trouble over fence 7. Ladies and gentlemen, clucking through there, it's the last rider you'll be seeing heading down into the FEI rails today and into Roller Park Lake. Give him a big round of applause for Anthony Thomas. No trouble there over the rails. Chooses to trot, and unfortunately, the eventing gods are not smiling on Anthony. That may be due to the fact that he took himself down there on a tour earlier. He's had the refusal. Remember, there's no penalties to add to that. So that may actually have been a tactical thing for Anthony. I don't know what those tactics would be, but I can't complain to be able to read a show jumper's mind. He's clear over fence 5, so he's still on 0 penalties. Of course, we're not at the most difficult part of the course yet. That really has been the show jumping component of this Gow-Gates exhibition eventing course. Designed and built in combination between John Valance and Mike Etherington Smith. No trouble over fence 7 there for Anthony Thomas. So he's got the 4 fences to go. He's got 4 fences left in his Gow-Gates exhibition eventing class. We have a no guarantee of the winning yet, although it is at this point Megan Jones, hometown hero. We have another South Australian here who could just take the title if it all goes to plan for him in these last few fences. He's got 2 to go. Anthony Thomas. He can just be confident about being closer to the optimum time than Megan, or he can choose to jump over the Joker fence and win it outright. This is a big choice. It's a big choice. Who knows what's going through Anthony's head? He's going to jump the Joker. Unfortunate rail down there for Anthony Thomas. So we'll get that fence rebuilt. So just get the ground crew in there. What a finish to this exhibition eventing class. Anthony Thomas, if you would have put money on anyone to jump that fence clear, it would have been him. So I hate to speak early, but that does look like there will be a win there for Megan Jones. Kirby Park impressed No chance now. There's nothing Anthony Thomas can do to regain the lead. So we'll see victory in this Gow-Gates exhibition eventing class to Megan Jones. But just before we go too far, we'll let Anthony Thomas finish his course. There he is, Jones, big rail down there at the Joker. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the exhibition eventing here, sponsored by Gow-Gates Insurance.
By Will McArthur from Gow-Gates Insurance, and also Judy Basher, the chair of Equestrian Australia. So Will and Judy will go down in the first position. We'll start in the first position because it was such an amazing round there from Megan Jones, the local hero, riding Kirby Park Impress. It was a beautiful, as we said earlier, it was a beautiful exhibition of exhibition eventing from Megan Jones. She won it from Sinead Lowick in second, riding Proctor up her green. There was only 0.18 between them, so Megan just a little bit closer to the optimum time, scraped it in. That's all it takes. So in second position, just receiving her prize was Sinead Lowick and Proctor up the Peregrine, coached by Sonia Johnson from Western Australia. In third position, she went out fifth in the draw. That was Jordina Watson and Babington's Revenge, the best without four false riders. And then in fourth position, Taran Proctor, ESB Irish Quest, another great round from Taran. And in fifth position, Simon Tainch from Victoria, just receiving a warm handshake from Will McArthur. That was Tessa Cook and Heatherton Park-Al-Pont. So we'll just have a quick word to Megan Jones, who's been a very, very busy person today, but it's always good to have won a run before the weekend here now.